How can the average civilian prepare for a civil war, revolution, or some kind of global event that brings conflict to your homeland shores? Today we're diving into a serious topic: how civilians can prepare for a potential second U.S. Civil War, or really any major kind of disruption. This video will cover practical steps to keep you and your loved ones safe, so whether it's rolling blackouts, supply shortages, or even external threats like cyber attacks, being ready gives you peace of mind. We'll cover how to secure power discreetly, store food, find water, stock up on medical supplies before things get bad, build community ties, and more. My goal is to give you clear, doable strategies that you can start today, because no one wants chaos like this, but if it does come, at least you'll be ready. So grab a notebook, stick with me, and let's get into it. Oftentimes, the best option for civilians in any kind of conflict is something we have all witnessed around the globe at some point in our lives, which is refugees fleeing a conflict zone. If we look back over the last 100 years, there's an estimated 300 to 500 million refugees that have fled active conflicts. So to provide some context for the rest of this video, let's explore some of these historic examples. Conflicts in the 20th and 21st centuries have driven episodic waves of displacement, often peaking during and after wars. Here's a brief summary. From 1925 to 1945, there were three major events: the Russian Civil War aftermath, the Spanish Civil War, and World War II. It's estimated that about 60 to 80 million people were displaced during this time. From 1946 to 1975, you had the partition of India, the Arab-Israeli War, the Korean War, the Algerian War, the Vietnam War, and the Congo Crisis. These six events alone displaced an estimated 30 to 50 million people. From 1976 to the year 2000, you had the Soviet-Afghan War, the Iran-Iraq War, the Ethiopian Civil War and Famine, the Yugoslav Wars, the Rwandan Genocide, and the ongoing Somalian Civil War, which has displaced, between all of those events, another estimated 40 to 60 million people. From 2001 to 2025, you had the Iraq-Afghan Wars, the Syrian Civil War, and the ongoing South Sudan, Yemen, Ukraine, Sudan, and Myanmar wars, which have displaced another estimated 100 to 150 million people. So why is it worth considering preparing for something as extreme as a civil war? History shows disruptions happen. If we go further back in history, the 1860s U.S. Civil War upended lives, and recent events like hurricanes wiping out power or protests halting cities remind us how fragile society actually is. Today, deep divisions make tensions feel closer to home, but it's not just about internal risks. Foreign actors could exploit vulnerabilities, especially our infrastructure. Think about the 2021 Colonial Pipeline cyber attack. It wasn't a war, but gas stations that relied on that pipeline ran dry in days. Hackers, potentially state-backed, could target power grids, water systems, or shipping networks, cutting off electricity or food deliveries. There would be no troops needed, just a laptop. These threats, domestic or foreign, expose how fragile our systems are. If the grid goes down and stores run empty or roads close, you're on your own for days, weeks, or maybe even months. So that's where preparedness comes in, and by securing essentials like power, food, water, and allies, you can take control. Let's start with one of the biggest challenges, being power. No electricity means no lights, no phone charging, and no medical devices if you rely on one. Blackouts are common in unrest, so you would need a backup plan. Solar panels are a great start. A portable 100-watt panel can charge phones or run small devices, and for larger needs, such as a fridge, you can look at 400-watt home kits. You can pair them with battery banks. You can think of brands like Jackery or EcoFlow to store energy for cloudy days or nights. Generators are another option, but you need to be cognizant of noise. Propane and inverter models are quieter than gas ones, which is very important. So here's the big rule. Keep a low profile. A loud generator or a shiny rooftop full of solar panels screams, "I have resources." In a crisis, that attracts trouble. So set up solar panels in your backyard hidden by fences or bushes and angle them for sun but out of sight from the street. For generators, you can build a soundproof box by using plywood and acoustic foam to muffle noise, but keep in mind, in a crisis where there is no power, there's just not going to be as much ambient noise around, so even by soundproofing a box, your generator's likely still going to be detectable from fairly extreme distances. Remember a famous quote, "Society is only 3 meals away from anarchy," that as people that are not prepared grow more desperate, they will take what they need. So if you do rely on a generator, place it in a shed or a garage and conserve energy throughout your home by using LED bulbs and unplug unused devices. You should also check your gear monthly, test batteries, run generators, and store fuel in sealed cans. Somewhere you can start is with a $100 solar kit and grow it from there. Discreet power keeps you safe and independent. Next on our list is food. Food shortages hit fast in a crisis. Grocery stores can run empty in hours, so a stockpile is your safety net. You can aim for a 3-month supply per person at about 2,000 calories daily per adult, and stock up on shelf-stable foods like rice, dried beans, canned soups, vegetables, meats, and pasta. You also want to be able to plan your portions carefully. A family of 4 needs about 720,000 calories for 3 months. Include multivitamins to fill nutritional gaps and rotate your stock. Eat the oldest items and replace them to stay fresh. Additionally, if you have the space, start a garden. Tomatoes, potatoes, and herbs are beginner-friendly, and sprouting seeds indoors adds fresh nutrients fast. If you're on a budget, buy 1 extra can or bag each grocery trip. Over time, you'll build a buffer that lets you ride out a disruption without panic. Third on our list is not necessarily the third most important. Water is your top priority, and you need at least a gallon per person per day for drinking, cooking, and hygiene. If you have property, you can set up rainwater collection systems. A 50-gallon barrel under a gutter can catch enough for weeks, so make sure it's food grade and covered to keep out debris. If you have a well, you can install a hand pump because electrical ones fail without power. Urban dwellers can store 2 weeks' worth in BPA-free jugs. A 5-gallon jug is about $10. You can scout nearby sources like lakes or streams for emergencies. Purification is also important. Boiling works, but it takes fuel, so you'd probably want to get a portable filter like a Sawyer Mini. You can use chemical tablets like chlorine dioxide, which is lightweight backup. And you should be testing whatever setup you have now. Filter a bucket of water to practice. A solid water plan keeps you alive when the taps run dry. Fourth on our list is medical supplies, and medical care would likely vanish in any kind of major conflict, at least for a short time. Hospitals may be swamped, pharmacies would be empty. You can build a first aid kit with bandages, gauze, antiseptics, and scissors, and stock general medications for common issues. You can use ibuprofen or acetaminophen for pain and fever, loperamide for diarrhea, antihistamines like diphenhydramine for allergies or sleep. Antibiotics like amoxicillin can treat infections but require a prescription. This might sound kind of crazy, but you can talk to your doctor about wanting to stock up on emergency supplies. Other considerations are electrolyte packets, which would help with dehydration from illness or heat. You need to aim for at least a 3-month stash of any prescription meds you need. I would also recommend learning basic skills. You can take online courses on CPR, wound care, or splinting, and oftentimes they're free. A $50 kit and a few hours of learning can handle cuts, fevers, infections, or stomach bugs when help is not on the way. So start small, but start now because medical self-reliance will save lives. Fifth on our list is building community connections. Ultimately, no one thrives alone in a crisis. A strong community can share food, most importantly skills, or protection when things get tough. So start building those ties now. Introduce yourself to your neighbor, bring cookies, and offer to help with a project. Go and join a local group like a gardening club or a volunteer fire department. Think about hosting a skills sharing night. Someone might come and teach canning foods, another might teach first aid. These bonds create trust. In a crisis, a tight group can barter supplies, they can guard homes or care for kids. Look for people with diverse skills. A mechanic, a nurse, a carpenter. You can attend town meetings or organize a block party to spark connections. If unrest hits, you'll have a network that you can lean on. Building community takes time, so start now. Small gestures now can mean big support later. Number 7 is just general additional preparedness. For self-defense, focus on prevention. Take a situational awareness class and learn to spot risks before they escalate. Strengthen your home with deadbolts, window locks, or security film, and stay subtle to avoid attention. For communication, get a two-way radio. Baofeng models are under $50, and you can set channels with your family or group. Cell towers may fail, so practice using it. You also want to plan for mobility. Pack a bug-out bag with 72 hours worth of essentials like food, water, clothes, a flashlight, and a map. Know your area's exit routes and safe spots. Decide when to stay or when to go. Home is usually safest until it's not. These steps give you flexibility. You can start with a radio or a basic bag. Small moves start to add up fast. Preparedness is ultimately power. Start with a solar charger, a few cans of food, a water jug, a first aid kit, and a chat with your neighbor. Foreign or domestic threats can disrupt life, but you can be ready. Take one step today. Buy a filter. Join a local group. Test a radio. You don't need to do it all at once. If this video helped, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Drop your tips in the comments. I'm all ears. I don't know everything. And let's keep building a stronger, safer future together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.